Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us for Crankin' Out Crafts. Today I'm making this really cute unicorn themed clock, very galaxy and magical, just like unicorns. So check it out. So the first thing that I did was I painted my entire surface black, as you can see, and then I did a really nice splatter effect so that I could get my cool galaxy. So I'm going to show you with my Aqua Cool Pearl. It's one of my favorite colors, and whenever I do cakey projects with the little ones, it's their favorite color too. I've had a lot of slime projects end up being this color. All right, so I just take a nice sturdy brush. It's got long bristles. Dip a little bit of it into the cap because you don't need to get a whole lot in there. And then don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty because they're gonna get a little messy, and just flick. Some people do this with a toothbrush. If you don't have any spare toothbrushes at home, paintbrush will do. Either way you can clean it, but you won't put this back in your mouth, so it's a good way to go. All right, and I've got a little bit more teal in there. I love this effect. Some of the deep burgundies that you might be able to see with the camera is actually a lighter pink that on top of the black gives a nice deep effect. So you don't know how the colors are going to look until after you layer them. So just don't be afraid to play around with how your paints might end up. So the next part of this, I did drill a hole with a nice power drill. We're not going to do that right now just because I don't want to hurt your ears with the vroom. But I have one of the longest ones we have clockwise, just so that it pops all the way out and I get nice dimensions with this project. You do have to make sure that you read the directions that are on the back of each of our clock part mechanisms, and it will show you how to take it apart and each step that you take and when you're putting things back on. So make sure that you follow these directions, otherwise your clock will not work properly. And then, I mean, it'll be a nice art piece, but it won't be functional. So in order to make my numbers, which I'm only doing the main 4, we're not going to do the whole face because it's not necessary. I found some really cute letters and numbers online, printed them out, and I actually did something to make them a little more sturdy. I used one of our mats, our cool Ken Oliver mat. It's, as it says here, best ever craft mat. They're not kidding, I use this for everything. We use it for beading because the beads don't bounce off of it. We use it for resin because the resin comes right off of the silicone. We use it for glue purposes. The hot glue comes off, every other type of glue comes off. Glitter comes right off, everything comes off of this. And I've even heard that some people use this for cooking as well. So, it's my little pitch for my favorite silicone mat that we have here. And if you can kind of see, it's gonna be a little bit shiny. I Mod Podged it 3 layers right onto the surface, and I'm gonna peel it right off. Just like that, comes off so clean. So I'm gonna just cut this leftover Mod Podge off so we don't have that spider webby effect going on our project, which is not a bad thing. It's just not the look I'm going for today. If we were doing a Halloween project, I might go ahead and consider it. Or maybe even if I had lights behind it, because this would be a cool pattern to have lit up from behind. All right. And I have a little bit on the inside I need to cut as well. We're nearly there. And if there's any white areas that you've printed out that you noticed after you did the Mod Podge, because I cut mine out beforehand, that now would be the time to cut those extra edges off just in case. Especially if you're doing a project like mine where the background is black, that will pop out and not look as clean as it would if you had taken it off beforehand. And now the next thing we're going to do is actually use our pop dots. These are Studio G brand pop dots, but we have several other brands as well, so you can pick and choose. And you'll notice that these pop dots actually are circles. Don't be afraid to go outside of the box or outside of the circle, as it were here, and cut away however much you need. So I'm actually, because this is a very angular design, I am going to cut straight across, just like this. And I may have to do a few more. Peel the backing off because it's like 2-way tape. And we're just gonna plop that right in there. Got another one here. And you don't have to do the complete backing of it. You just need enough that it can pop and kind of support itself. I recommend turning it over, and you're gonna notice there's some places where there's a little bit of white peeping out. Make sure to cut those. It's foam, so you can kind of cut willy-nilly. Go ahead and keep turning it over. Got a little bit here I need to trim. And now is the crucial time. I have to decide which way is up. Now, you can do that beforehand because, as you'll notice, the backing actually has a place where you can put your nail and then it hangs. I did think of that beforehand, but as it is right now, it's not tight enough that you can't twist it around. So starting with my one, I'm gonna peel the backing off of these last two foamy bits. And I'm gonna have it almost all the way to the top and over to the side to make room for my two, because there are two numbers that go in this one. And here is my two. All right, let's make sure that we get this nice and even. All right, so now I'm going to put my cute little unicorn onto my minute hand. And like I said before, I'm gonna use a little bit of hot glue to make sure that it keeps its support. It is a sticker, so it's nice and sticky. But just because I'm a little worrywart, I'm gonna make sure that it's not going anywhere except around the clock face, where it belongs. And before you go ahead and put your second hand on, I do recommend twisting the dial on the back just to make sure that your minute hand does work the way it's supposed to, that it's not gonna get caught on the hour hand. I've had that happen a few times. See, my glue just got caught on the hour hand. And if I had kept going on with everything, we would have had a major problem later on because that glue would have been too far down. All right, peeling some of that glue off the back that was extra. It was so extra. And so the second hand goes right on top. I'm gonna push it right in there. And we have a few stars that were given to us on this little sticker card. So I'm gonna put a few of the stars on the second hand and the hour. Put a little glob of glue. Oh, I like that. And so you could put stickers on the hour hand if you want. I have a lot of busyness in the background, so it is a little hard to see the hour hand. So if you have something similar to this, you can load up the hour hand with stars if you want. You could even have the unicorn be the hour hand. I just like that the unicorn is going to move around quite a bit and the minute hand will move more than the hour hand. Let me turn this so that you guys can see the unicorn facing you. Okay. And so for the last bit, I'm actually going to use these really cute Sticko stickers. They're very rainbowy, very unicorn. Perfect for this project. Open this bad boy up. And we don't have to use the whole thing, so I can easily use this on several other projects, but I'm going to use some of my favorites of the coils here. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. Have it come out of our clock face. Let's see if we can set the time, and then I will put a battery in.